about life, we learn a lot from hardships because they push us out of our comfort zone. But we don't encounter failure and hardships as much as we encounter success. We spend more time being content than frustrated or upset. I mean, look at your own life. Look at your day. How much of today did you spend miserable or like, "Grr," and how much of your day did you spend just content? Like, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Expand that to your week, expand that to your year. And within your specific relationships or pursuits, how much of that time have you spent upset or angry? And how much of that time have you spent content? I mean, I would venture to say maybe 80% content, 20% discontent, maybe even 95% and 5%. Like if I look at my friendships and the years that I had, the years that I have rather with those friends, that's an easy like 98% content, satisfied, fulfilled, 2% conflict. So if we are only asking ourselves questions when things go wrong, when it doesn't work out, then we are learning 2% of the time. If we are asking ourselves questions throughout life, through every experience, good and bad, we can maximize and accelerate our learning and our growth. Because now we're asking questions 100% of the time and we're learning 100% of the time. And we are learning from the things that are most present in our life. That 98% of contentment, of fulfillment. We're asking questions and learning so that we can continue that and apply it elsewhere into a life. So we can, again, continue it. So we can feel that consistency across our life. Conflict, obstacles, struggles. It doesn't matter how many questions you ask, you're not going to be able to avoid them. That is just life. And it is a beautiful aspect of life because it puts things into perspective, creates contrast, and allows us to appreciate both sides of the coin. But it's not what we're striving for. Or not trying to like, okay, let me get into a fight with every one of my friends so I can learn more about communication and relationships. No, that's not what we're looking for. So we're looking for some healthy relationships. Well, why are we not asking the questions of why is this relationship truly healthy? We just say, oh, I'm connected. I have a connection with that person. What does that mean? You know, this person, this is my best friend. I trust them with my life. Why? What aspects of that relationship and that person's personality and behavior, words, actions make you say such a strong statement as I trust that person with my life? And if you can define it, and if you can identify exactly what are those characteristics, you can seek them out in other people. You can bring them to the table yourself. And if you don't see them present in other people, you can, very smoothly or hopefully navigate away from that to avoid unnecessary conflict and strife. Danny says, thank you, Magna. I really enjoy and learn a lot with your talks. All topics that you explain are excellent to improve our trust. Yeah, absolutely. Ask questions regularly about everything. Life is going to give you a lot of the what, and maybe the who has done the what. We are inspired by others, and we learn by seeing. We see something, we're like, oh, never thought of that. Let me try that. Okay, so we want the what from a bunch of people. Ask the how. Yes, ask it externally. How did you do that? Try to apply it to yourself. When you do it, understand the difference in your how from the other person's how. Ask the when. When did it make sense to approach something in this way? When would it not make sense? And then make sure you ask why. Why does it make sense in this scenario and not in that scenario? How you phrase these questions to yourself, how often you phrase them, is going to ultimately determine how quickly you develop as an individual, how much growth you can experience. Because if you want to accelerate your growth and your personal development, you have to begin with self-reflection and understanding. There are a lot of things that will be given to you, but if you don't truly understand them, you can't do anything with them. It's very different to truly understand the tools in your toolbox versus getting a toolbox and also getting the finished item. And all you had to do, somebody said, oh, it's just screw that there. And that's what you did. Instead of saying, well, which screwdriver to that screw? How come this one doesn't work? Oh, this one works. Well, now I know what to use and what force to use to make sure the rest of the process is easier. And I'm going to build my entire finished product, that product myself. And then don't just ask how others do the things, hoping that an understanding of their methods will automatically translate into your own success. Ask of yourself. Like, copying what you see without providing a reason to yourself for your actions limits your growth, limits what you can do with what you know. And ultimately, don't coast through a good life thinking that lessons are only learned through struggles. There are lessons to be learned in every situation, good and bad. And if you think about your life and say, how do I spend the majority of my time? What is my energy? What is my mood? What's my vibe? I'm happy 90% of the time, 95% of the time. My relationships are good 95% of the time. My success at work or whatever projects I do is good 95% of the time. Ask why. Find out how you are doing things to have that 95%. Don't wait for that 5% of struggles, of challenges, or of conflict to understand yourself better. Use that 95% equally, if not more, because it is present in your life throughout.